I'm also very interested.
Very simple.
So today we are going to discuss everything about a poster presentation. As we must have seen, like practically in every conference, for sure there will be a poster presentation competition. So, like just imagine, you have only 2 minutes of time to show your entire work. Let it be your research or let it be your case. You have just 2 minutes time. You don't have no long PPTs, no long hours of lectures to explain everything. So what are you going to do? So that's where poster comes in. That's where poster comes in. So why poster? Like usually do case presentations or research paper presentations. We do have PPTs where you can explain everything to the world and you can go to every detail, do some 15 to 20 slides. But why posters? Why are cases are asked to convert into posters and present? Why are papers are asked to convert into a poster and present? Why? Because poster is like a visual snapshot of everything, like all the entire work in one single frame. You can just put it like that. See, imagine it's just cool, right? Everything you do, if someone sees it, looks at it for 2 minutes, and they'll understand. Pretty much, like more or less, everyone can understand like what is it, what are the main contents. The thing with poster is we have to put less on the screen and talk more. So obviously when you do a case or when you do a paper, you have a lot of information. Like in cases you have history of present illness, investigation, so much about everything. The thing is you should know what to extract from that and what to omit. Because poster should be very concise, crisp, comprehensive on the point. Like not all the unnecessary information, you can't dump everything, it's not a textbook, right? It's a poster. So in today's workshop, let's discuss like how to make a poster, how to design a poster, what are the tools required, and how to present it. Once the poster is done, it's like the hard part. But how you present it is very important. Even though you have a beautiful poster, presentation really matters, right? And let's give some few examples and posters that I've won in previous competitions. Let's review them, let's discuss about them. And we'll also have some discussion about what's the judgment criteria that's usually done in conferences. And after all this, we can just have a small, fun activity which we all can do, hands-on activity, practice session kind of thing. Where we all can do some edits and some posters on the spot, and we can discuss on the posters that we have done right. So just guys, before this is the discussion session, everyone can share their views against someone's telling and listening. So everyone has quite attended a wide spectrum of conferences. So let's all share our experiences, what we have seen, like what are the different questions judges have asked, what are the different ways posters have been presented. Let's all share our views so that next time, when there's a poster presentation competition, no one is scared or no one is intimidated. We'll be like, yeah, we know something, we can do it, right? Okay?
So I'll just run you through all the principles that are required to design a award-winning poster. So the first thing is a good poster should have a clear layout. The skeleton will give you a prize. The skeleton, the flow of the information, everything should be orderly placed in the poster. The second thing is you should use all the visuals that you're going to put in your poster, like the graphs, the images, the infographic content. Everything should be used and placed so that you can attract the viewer and also express what you're intending to do. Then you should also minimize the usage of text. You should only use key phrases and keywords so that the reader can just understand what you're trying to tell just by looking at it. And you can do all of this by using the 20-40-40. It says keep the 20% of the entire area of the poster empty. Use 40% of it for images and graphics and 40% of it just for the text. This will give you a perfect structure where you can ensure readability, which is the most important thing for an award-winning poster. Okay? And ensuring readability means not just keeping everything plain and simple. It is to attract the viewer. It is to it is also to express what you're doing. Like your content should be expressed, and it should happen in a very concise but impactful way, because your impact is what gives you a prize. So first, let's talk about how a case can be done in the poster. You'll of course have a title where you will describe not just the entire what you're trying to tell. The title is very crucial because, like in a title, you not only tell what your case is about, but also it should be catchy enough to attract the viewer or the judge, so that you can express and be creative at the same time here. And it is very crucial for a poster. And then you describe your case. Like this will include the age of the patient, the complaints, the examination findings. All of this should be very concise, and all the key important information about the case description should be mentioned. And then you write about the diagnosis and the management, all the investigations you've done, all the how did you treat the patient. All of this should be mentioned here. And in the discussion part, you will compare your case with other published cases already, and you will tell how how different your cases or how similar your cases to other important cases, so that it can form up the first step of question of research. Right. Then after the discussion, we will mention the outcome. It says like what happened to the patient after you treated him, like the follow-up period, how was it, what was the outcome. All of that you mention in the outcome section, and then you conclude with by summarizing everything. And the main point here is to use only keywords. Many times people just cram all information up into boxes and just call it a poster. It is not a poster. It is just a dump yard if you do it that way. You should use keywords and key phrases so that you can also recall what you are intending to explain while presenting, and also it is very concise, and people don't have to stare at it for hours to just understand what is trying to tell. Okay? So this is an example of my poster that I did for ASMC, and I won the second prize there. So you can look at the structure of it, the introduction, then the case details, the diagnosis and the investigations done, the treatment done, and the summary of it. And look how the title of the diagnosis is in the center. A poster should have the key area of the poster is the center. And then you can add other images, the author details elsewhere. Okay? Like looking at the paper presentation now, we'll of course have the title, which will again should be creative, should attract people, and should express what you're intending to tell. And then the methodology, the methods you use to do your study, and the results you arrived at in your study, and the discussion, again comparing your results with other results, your inferences from whatever results you have acquired from your study. And then the conclusion and references. It's the same. You should use keywords. This is where most people make mistakes. People just do paragraphs, and even PGs from our campus do a lot put information in a poster as paragraphs, and they just call it a poster. It is not. So you should use keywords so that you will express yourself in a very short manner. Next. So this is again an example of a poster. So it is very clearly mentioned in panels what is what. If the graphics are given, the tables are clear. I know you cannot look at it because the image is not that clear, but it is, you get it. The title is present, the paragraphs, there is no cramming of information. There is enough space, there is enough empty space, there is enough images and to explain, and there is enough keywords that also mention. This is another example of a research paper as a poster. Again, this might not look like what I've talked about, but it just essentially tells about how to use spaces effectively.
So, as we discussed, usually posters are asked in 3 types. You either be given a random topic and asked to make a poster on it, or a case, or a research paper. So, for cases, what do you want to talk about, and where you want to present. After we spoke to many TGs and many seniors who have attended many conferences, they have told us there is a key strategy to use this. Using a centrally placed body. See, this is a poster on microphones. So, a centrally placed body which attracts the users first. When you look at the poster, something central which is very informative, which is like once you get that, it should be like crisp. Like it's the main important part of the poster should be placed in the center. And you can align everything related to it around it in a proper way using all the graphics or whatever. So a centrally placed body will give more attraction and it will attract the viewers more. So for like the thing is, if we have topics like physiological changes in pregnancy or anything which involves timelines, the best thing to do is use timelines. In pregnancy, you can start with first trimester, second trimester, term, or something like that. Or anything which involves timelines. If you start explaining from symptom, like if it's a disease, you can start explaining from symptom to the presentation in the hospital. Like how it evolved, the stages properly, clearly around the centrally placed body. That will attract and makes your poster unique. Instead of keeping everything in rectangles to all the corners and just keeping the heading in the middle, you can do the main key is making it unique. Because poster presentation is something 100,000 people will be interested because it's easy. Like you can just use canvas tools and put it. No need to make PPTs with so many slides or nothing. It's easy. Many people will be interested. But what makes you win the competition is how is it unique. How you can make the poster unique. That is what is important. So this is an example where you can put it centrally and make a poster. So this is a poster on breast cancer in MedVigyaan Cancer Institute. And this poster won the second place. The previous poster also won the second place in Lagaraya Medical College. So the topic was breast cancer. They did not mention anything, just breast cancer. So you are completely free to choose what you want. So in this poster, she chose an app to detect cancer. Like just nobody will get that idea. Right? Many people will think pathogenesis or either the evolution or risk factors or how to manage. So something unique will what makes a poster stand. So there is an experience from a senior shape. So what a guy did was everything he wrote on a paper. Okay, whatever he wants to put on the poster, all the information, this clear and crisp handwriting he wrote on the paper. He took a snapshot of it and put it on the digital poster. So everything was handwritten. Like it was the first place. It doesn't sound good, I don't know, but still it was different from all the other posters. The main thing is we should make them okay. He has all the extra mile. Like something he has done extra. He has put our efforts just beyond the poster. That is what will make us stand out. And this is another example or experience. So there was a competition on atherosclerosis. The poster topic was atherosclerosis. So the person who won, what he did was he really went to the hospital, talked to the patients who had the disease atherosclerosis. He got some information from them and he put that result or whatever he got from them on the poster. Like poster presentation doesn't require that you don't need to go to the hospital, but he did. So always think out of the box, not only for posters, but for anything. Always think out of the box, do something unique, some extra step that you can take which makes your poster unique and different from others. So how to present it? Okay, so how many of you are nervous when it comes to stage fear or when you have to speak in front of a set of people or doing? How many of you are nervous? I think everyone, including me, right? Everyone was nervous, but the thing is, what we make is half of it, but how we present it also important, right? A poster is like a trailer, it's just a trailer. You have to explain the entire thing just showing one image of the trailer. So it's in your hands only, how you explain it, how you decode it. Your verbal skills, communication skills, eye contact, body language, everything matters. So in our research club also we are planning to keep mock presentations so that everyone can practice how to speak in front of a jury. So and question and answer round. Oh my god, this is the most important part anyway. Because like the more questions you get asked, the more interested judges are in your topic, the more they want to know. So we might think that so many questions are asked, oh my god, is there something wrong? But no, they want to test us. They want how we answer. We should know everything in and out about our poster. Everything what is written, every word that is written on a poster, you should have an explanation of it. In a competition, judges ask, why did you choose this color palette? That can also be a question. So, everything related to it, everything textually related to it, everything you need to have a good way so that you can answer it confidently. And in case if you forget something or if you skip some part, don't worry, that is the first thing. If you show it on the face that you have forgotten something, then that will make an impression, right? They don't know that you have forgotten because script is yours. It's always in your hand, you can change it, right? Don't worry, just skip it in and cash it in. Oh, nothing like this, it's just normal. And do you have any experiences about judges asking questions or where you get nervous or missing something? Share your panic. Yeah, you can share your discussion, right? Please. Like everyone must have attended conferences, right? You can share if you feel you want to tell someone. You have me done this. My boss is also. They are happy to hear. If anyone has something to say, fear of saying your answer which you know already. Shrestha has one, I think. You want to add anything to the one? You want to share it? My boss is also good. It's the same scenario, I think. You have to say something. Jyotsna last. Jyotsna? Raji wants to say.
Good experience.
Yes, please.
Share good experience.
Last time was the first time I presented a poster in Kakadri Medical College. It was like so scary experience, you know. And we have made a blunder in the poster.
It's not.
Like it's not a blunder, but it's just an error. So the sir question was that thing only, you know. And I was unable to answer, and because of that thing, our very good poster got into.
They asked us why we didn't get one draft. Related.
Stand up and
He asked us why we didn't get a draft. Something related to ECG.
so you got scared basically.
We both got scared. We thought we were answering something.
We also have said diagrammatic representation of everything is important because as 2040, 40 discussed, diagram is also very important. And the one thing most people do is a take-home message. So in everything, it's important to give a take-home message like, okay, you have presented everything, so what? Now what? What do you want from us? Or what are you expecting to tell from us? And if you observe when judges ask questions, mostly we be like, what do you think about this? Or what is your view? They are most interested in how we think, what is our perspective. So I think we should all be bold enough to tell what we feel. If you don't know the answer, you can just be honest and say, we'll learn more about it or something. But if they ask our opinion on it, and we tell what we really feel, it really changes the perspective on the entire. So that is the thing. And there is a question that is asked me. So, if you win first prize for your poster, what is the one thing in this poster that you think made you win the first prize? So, know your strengths. Know the strengths of your own posters. That is important. Know your weaknesses, but to keep it as a backup. But know your strengths. So, you should be able to answer it. That answering like on point and good answers will really help you win. That is the game changer trust. Yeah, so that's it. Anything else on presentation or anyone wants to add out?
Like, take a moment, look at this poster. Can anyone tell me what this poster is about? Or what it talks about? Meaning, can you
Is an interactive session, please participate.
It's another than faster and basically amongst I was here about my and that is how you
how do you feel about this poster?
Not easy on the eyes, too much text.
Yes.
To bypass information everywhere.
Next. Next. Yeah, now look at this poster. And yeah, Haritha, can you tell me what this talks about? Or how do you feel after looking at it?
This is easy on the eyes. It has pictures, a lot of pictures, and it is easier to understand.
What is it about?
It is about training.
There is nothing in it. It's just a template on how to do a poster. Okay? Thank you. So, as you can see, the structure is there. It has a skeleton, the introduction, objectives, the purpose of their study, the methods, the results, their findings and conclusion. There is everything in it. But what lacks is the visual appeal. And personally, I don't think this would have won anything. But this also has structure. The background, objectives, methods, results, their major themes, what are their other affiliations, a summary on the top, and a title that is catchy. This is better when compared to that, only because of the spacing of the poster, because of the graphs and the images and the usage of space, which is very crucial for a poster. And again, designing a poster is, just half of the work. The other half is actually presenting and answering the question and answer.
So judging criteria is something that we have already discussed in mostly judges will be interested in your title first thing, how uniquely you presented a title. Titles in the form of questions are also very attractive. Or make it a boring title, use some different metaphors or some particular words which makes the title interesting. Okay, and originality of the topic and relevance to the topic that they're like if they have something and you do something completely different, that's not going to be nice, right? So relevance and originality of the topic is something that's important. And clarity of speech, how well you explain everything, how it is put in a nice way, but how you tell, how you unravel everything, what you have thought in your mind is also important. And visuals, visually appearing, text, colors, font, everything that we have just discussed about a good poster. And relatability and results, like what is the conclusion and results you want? What is the conclusion? Like I have said, what is the take home message that you are giving them? And the question and answer round, obviously, how well did you answer the questions, your confidence and body language, everything matters. Like, and one more thing is many people I saw they just hold the mic on each and they can't just. I don't need to shout also, but speaking loudly will clearly make a difference. Like in our lectures also, when someone is just speaking low, we don't tend to listen to the class, right? But when someone is speaking properly with good tone and all, even if you don't want to listen to the class, we listen something. So it's important, the tone of your voice is also important. And pretty much it's that on basis of these only they judge. So I hope you all keep this in mind when editing the next conference.
Questions? Any questions? Information is open Canva. I'll just show it. I'll show it. Below.
Before we go ahead with the hands-on workshop, I'll just tell you how to use Canva, like the basic tools, and how to design, like how you can use Canva. So yeah, I'll open a presentation for the simplicity. Sure.
Meanwhile, if there are anyone here who did not install Canva or even download Canva, please do it. Once you get time to start work, you can do it. There's no hindrance.
Okay, one more thing I think we missed is that one of the most important criteria also for judging is the time management. As all of us know in the guidelines itself, like they will be saying 4+2 session or 6+2 session. There are particular marks assigned to that criteria. Like if it is 4-minute presentation, we are supposed to complete it in 4 minutes itself. Like with 10 seconds or with 20 seconds, your marks keep on increasing. So time management is also very important criteria.
Ma'am. So yeah, just I'll. Okay. This is the homepage of Canva. You can just select whatever file you want to create. I'll use the presentation for now. Okay. You can use ready-made templates if you want. I'll just do something very basic. Go to the elements section, okay, and add shapes. You can resize them. First, let me add a text box. You can use a heading text for a big larger text. Okay. You can use this area to change the fonts of your file, of your text, and place it. You can zoom in if you cannot align. It's generally used for smaller text. Okay. Let me show you. Yeah, if I have to, if I want to move this somewhere, I want it exactly on the screen. So I'll just zoom in for more precision. Then you can change colors for shapes here. Use color gradients. You guys know better than me. I'm not that good with colors, but yeah. You can use elements. You can upload images here, and you can use them in your files. You can have graphics. You have graphics here. You can use that tool as well. You can fix backgrounds using this. You can change backgrounds, or you can also put images as backgrounds here. Yeah, so that's it. This is how you can use Canva, like all the basic tools I've shown. It's just the text and elements are enough. You can add upload images and use it there. Use it for images. If you want ready-made templates, you will get them. But it's always recommended to use your own creativity. Thank you. Now we'll move ahead with the hands-on workshop. why we don't